Hi, in today's video, we're going to delve into the answer to the question, how does mental health affect athletic performance? Athletic performance is not just about your skill and athletic ability. It's about your ability to handle the stress of the moment. It's about the ability to perform under pressure. It's about being able to absolutely obtain your peak performance consistently, and that requires positive mental health. We'll delve into the answers on why in this video. The first part of this video, we're going to look at a mindset called the stress is enhancing mindset. Then we're going to look at how stress can impact your performance. We'll look at how stress can also impact your relationship with your teammates and as well your relationship with your coaches. And lastly, we're going to take a look at a real life example of a professional athlete and their performance and the mental health that they exhibited. The idea behind the stress enhancing mindset is exactly what the name says. It's the belief that stress is actually has the ability to enhance your performance. Now, it is true that when you are in the emotion of stress, you do not perform as well. But the idea behind a stress is enhancing mindset is when you have the mindset that stress will cause you to learn and grow and become better, your reaction to stress is different. So you are less likely to get stuck in the emotion of stress when you believe that stress helps you grow, makes you better. What's crucial to understand about this mindset, though, is it's the focus on understanding how you get into stress. How do you create stress, right? You put that responsibility back on you, and it is about understanding the process and getting out of the emotion. When you're trapped in the emotion of stress, you do not perform as well. When you rise yourself up out of the emotion, then you perform better. And you can do that in the immediately, right, in the moment, but you can also have that long-term effect as you reflect and learn from all these stressful moments and how you did, understand your performance, and that can help you be better prepared in the future so that that stressful emotion doesn't take over. So when you're in the emotion of stress, your biochemistry changes. You cannot perform as well. You will not think as quickly. You will not think as clearly. You will not react as quickly when you're in the emotion of stress because the biochemistry is not supportive of peak performance. So when you are feeling that high levels of anxiety, not only does your performance decline, you're also more likely, according to an NCAA study, to become injured. Again, you are carrying yourself differently when you're feeling anxiety. An extreme case would be something like that happened to Kevin Love in an NBA game where he had a panic attack, right? When you're in the middle of something like that, you cannot athletically perform. And to the degree of the anxiety or stress that you're feeling will depend on how far you are from being able to perform at your peak level, right? So being in that emotion of stress again hinders your ability to think clearly, quickly, to have your body react fluidly, to flow, to let it just do its own thing over repeatedly to its peak ability. Stress will also impact your relationships, right? As people feel stress, they tend to react more, be more reactive, react more with some negative emotions that are associated with that stress. And when you do that on a more consistent basis, there is this friction that comes on between your teammates. When you are experiencing that stress and maybe not performing to your peak, there is a doubt. There is some question of whether their teammates can trust you to perform to the ability that they need you to in those moments when they need you to do your job, right? All of that can have an impact on those relationships you have with your teammates. It can also impact your relationship with the coaches. Again, the ability to trust. Can they rely on you? Are you seen as somebody who's carrying on too much emotion, too volatile, too difficult to be around when you're experiencing this? Again, when that happens, coaches are going to view you differently, and their ability to trust you in the moment or put you in that spotlight will be impacted by how well you're managing those situations on a daily basis. Let's look at the real life example of Bjorn Borg. Bjorn Borg, back in the 70s and the 80s, was one of the great tennis players around. He won 11 Grand Slam titles and 5 consecutive Wimbledon titles. He was considered one of the dominant forces, personalities in the sport. He helped elevate tennis's popularity. He was a rock star, constantly under the spotlight. He was a teen hit for teenage girls as they just wooed and fell over with his good looks and his athleticism, and all this attention and spotlight began to wear Bjorn down. Bjorn Borg was more of a private person, but one of the things he was noted for was when he was on that court, he was all about tennis. He was unflappable. Nothing ruffled his feathers, right? He was cool and calm at all times. That was one of the keys to his success, but it also wore him down. And at age 26, tired of the spotlight, having lost the motivation to compete, Bjorn Borg walked away from the game. He said later on in life he had no regrets. That's what he needed to do at that time. So without giving any sort of value judgment on that decision, the fact that to him, managing those emotions is what led him to this peak performance for those years, led him to be one of the great tennis players of all time. But in the end, it's also what led him to walk away at the top of his game. I invite you to subscribe to our channel, check out our other videos. I'd also invite you to register for our free webinar, The Psychology of Winning. It will really explain a whole lot of what's behind winning, both individually or even as a team. So check out that webinar today, and then I'll see you at the next video.